Welcome. Welcome to a new episode of It's Your Life. I am really excited because every single evening I've been interviewing people from all over the world who have a lot to say, who have experience in one area of their lives that is very, very helpful to others who don't have the experience in this area. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mona Abderrahim Santel. I'm the owner of Mind Your Power. And this series is exactly about that. It's about really regaining your power. It's about being in control of your thoughts, of your behaviors, and of your life, because it is your life. Now, a lot of people might have had plans, goals, visions for the future, and a small virus, an invisible coronavirus, came flying in and disrupted these plans. What do? Do you have a plan B? Or do you need to concoct a new vision? Tonight on the series, I have the big pleasure of having Ruth Röthlisberger. Ruth is from Germany originally, but she now lives in Switzerland. She lived for a long, long time in Singapore. Ruth is a hypnotherapist. She works a lot with children. Ruth is also a hypnoparenting coach. And she works with something that we call active hypnosis. Active
alert.
Active alert hypnosis. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah. That means it is just hypnosis while moving. Yeah. And she is specialized in working with children. Now, another area of specialization that she has is making vision boards. And that's exactly what she will do with us today. So she will walk us through exactly what is it? So first of all, maybe some people know what a vision board is. Others might not know it. I personally know the effects of vision boards, and I know how powerful they are from my personal experience. So I am very, very excited, and I hope that you take out the utmost of this talk, because it is really something that every single person should have. And now, without further ado, Ruth. Ruth, thank you for being with us today on the call and for sharing your vast expertise and experience with vision boards. For the people who don't know where to get started, what to do, etc., I am really excited that you will share that today. So welcome to the call tonight.
Thank you, Mona. Thank you for introducing me. Thank you for having me here. And yeah, it is a great pleasure to be here and finally give my share of knowledge to what you could do in a crisis like that. Because to be honest, in the beginning, when we had the shutdown middle of March here in Switzerland, the first week I was excited about having so much time. And the second week I really was in shock because I had my small, excuse me, I had my small hypnosis business. I had clients. Everything was just like running very smoothly. And 2020, according to my own vision board, was supposed to be my best year yet. And then without doing anything wrong, just from like some outside interaction, everything fell apart within one day. And it felt like someone tear my heart out because I just felt like helpless. I couldn't change anything. And yeah, I was really shocked in the beginning because that was not what my vision board told me what this year will be like. But obviously at some point you need to make up your mind, or you need to adjust to the situation and just look forward again. And for that, the vision board really is my tool, my personal favorite tool. I would recommend everyone to do a yearly vision board, So in the beginning, if you don't know what a vision board is, it basically is a frame with your visions and your goals in it. So you might want to cut out some pieces of paper from a magazine. You might want to put some quotes on your vision board. A picture of yourself, or if it's a vision board for your business, maybe you want to put on your card. What is it called? Your business card. That's it, your business card. So whatever you want, you can put on that board, and the most important thing is that you have an emotional connection to these things. Yeah, and cutting out paper or like photos from magazines really makes you dream and feel what your visions might look like. And I think that is the most important part of a vision board. You have that vision, you connect with your vision emotionally, and with your own hands, you cut it out, you arrange it, you glue it. So you do it with your hands. So it's a mixture of emotions, being creative, and making up your mind about what you want for your life. So now some people say, yeah, but I mean, now I've got that frame, and what do I do with it? You put it up on a place where you see it every day, because that's the thing. It's a visualization tool, and that you remember everything you need to see it. So you put it up, maybe, I don't know, in your toilet, in your bedroom, if it's a business vision board, you put it up in your office. So you just really need to see it every day. And what happens then is that whenever you look at it, you will get the feeling of your visions again. You will know how they feel like. You will feel the power of it again. And as in my case, when I felt like all my goals are falling apart due to that coronavirus, I still had that. I got that feeling. I know that it's not my fault that I couldn't achieve all my goals. And that is something that is really important, because we often make so many plans, and then by the end of the year, we feel like, oh, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that. And I forgot all about it. I didn't do anything. I couldn't get anything done this year, and we get frustrated. So when you have your visions visualized in front of you, and then you can see and feel every goal, and you can, for every goal, you can think, is it my fault that I did not achieve it? Maybe the goal or the vision was not as important to me anymore. Or maybe I did it and I'm already on the next step. So this is something I really learned from my vision boards. I don't have to, even if I don't finish all the visions that are on the board, I know exactly why. I can think of why couldn't I reach that goal? Or why could I overachieve it, which is the best part that could happen, right? You achieve your goals and you even get better than it. So I've been doing those vision boards since 2014. So I have, by now I have a number of vision boards at home, and I can really see that what happened through all those years. Yeah, I keep them. Some people say you need to burn them after they're over, like after a year, but I kept them, and I really like to look at them and see, where was I like 5 years ago? What bothered me in my life 5 years ago? What was meaningful to me, and what is it now? So some things stayed the same over all those years. There were goals that they stayed with me and maybe changed a little, and then every year something new came to it. So that is actually what I really like about the goals, that, and about the board, that you have that, you can see where you came from, and you can see where you want to go to. So it's all your path is with you all the time. Yes.
You make them yearly. Now, I know that a lot of people also have vision boards that are past a year, or, you know, that don't have that limitation of 1 year. So what is your recommendation? Or do you do both? Or why do you do them yearly?
I do them yearly because mine are often a combination between business goals and personal goals. And I think a business goal really is good if you have it for a year, like a short-term business goal, yeah? But my personal goals, they often stay longer, like maybe losing weight or something like that. Maybe that's not something that fits in that year. Maybe that takes 2, or I don't know. So sometimes these goals stay with me longer. So I really recommend to do business goals on a yearly basis, and then maybe even do one for like, where do you want to be in 5 years, in 3 years, but where do you want to be next year, so that it gets broken down, yeah, that it doesn't feel like too big or too enormous, but doable, yeah. What you could do, if you do it on a very personal area, like a goal, a vision board for your family, maybe you don't want to call it a vision board then, but maybe like a mood board or a feelings board or something. You could do it for a longer or very open period, yeah. You could do it for the next school year, or maybe for the next 2 years. What do we want to achieve as a family? Where do we want to go from here? Like, maybe if for example, I did a vision board when we moved back from Singapore to Switzerland. I did a board where I imagined what would I want my life in Switzerland to be like. Yeah. So it was when I had a big change in my life, I did that board to connect with this feeling of I'm moving, but what do I want to, what should my life after the move look like and feel like? So it was very open, because that was not something where I said in 3 months I want a house, all new furniture or whatever, but it was like, we want to travel once we're back in Europe. We want to see more of our family. So that was more like an open vision board, but just all that feelings, what do I want my life to feel like after the move, were on that board. So I think it basically depends a bit on, is it a personal board or is it a business board? But a business board, I would really recommend like a year, depending on what your business is like. If you have it from like 1st of December to 31st of December, that could be your the financial year, and then make it a vision board for that financial year. But if it's more a personal thing, then it can actually be open. But as we change and our life changes, I think at least every 2 years, you should reconnect with your feelings and visions again, because in 2 years, so much can happen. Your kids grow up, the family situation might change, and then your visions and dreams of what your life should be like change so much that it's actually worth doing it again. Yeah. Obviously, I offer those workshops in my office. That's what I recommend. If you have never done one before and you like the act of cutting out paper and gluing and being very creative, I would recommend to find someone who offers a workshop. But if you're at home, there's obviously a lot of help, so you can create your vision board at home. So maybe I'll just, because I've prepared that, let's see if that works. So yeah, so here we've got the vision board. So yeah, why is it good? Because a vision board, if you want to be successful you really need clear goals and the burning desire to achieve them. That's what I explained before. Yeah, you really need to connect with your goals. Then it's really the best picture you can make. So the vision board is a picture consisting, well, now I don't see everything. That's good. Of photos, paintings, drawings, and sayings or quotes that are important to you and represent your personal or professional goals and visions. So I think, if I'm not wrong, technique. So the reasons for a vision board, I have talked about that. You connect yourself with your visions on an emotional level, yeah? And important, you really gain clarity about your goals and wishes and dreams. But then also the creative process, yeah, inspires you and helps you to be inspired again and again. And I also explained that before, that with the help of the board, you see which goals you have reached and which not. You can celebrate your success, but also think of why you did not reach a specific goal. And this year, obviously, many of us don't reach their goals due to that virus, but it helps you to understand it was not your own fault. And I think it gives you a better feeling, because we tend to forget that something like this has happened to us and has made us, has changed our lives so much. So what do you need when you want to make your own vision board? Obviously, you need your dreams, visions, and ideas. You need some time. And this is something that really is tricky when you're at home, maybe with your kids or family, or at the moment, husbands in home office or something, because you really need 2 or 3 hours to prepare it and to make it. Because once you start, you might not want to stop. And then 2 or 3 hours are just gone within the blink of an eye. So you need all that crafts material, whatever you have. You don't have to buy everything, because actually many things are around at home. You find paper, you find glue, you find some scissors, maybe some pens or color markers or watercolor, just whatever you have. Your kids might have some pens. Just take everything you find. You don't need to buy anything for it. Yeah. Some glossy magazines or inspirational quotes. If you don't have that at home, there's obviously a lot of inspirational quotes on the internet. So far in Switzerland, always a good resource for getting some magazines was the hairdresser. So I often went to my hairdresser and asked if I can have like 1 or 2 magazines, and she was most of the time she was happy to give them to someone. So just go and find some things you might need. And then it actually does look quite nice if it gets a frame. So in most of the countries you have IKEA, and IKEA has great frames for good value. So that is my tip. If you buy a frame for it and you have an IKEA close by, try that. So I obviously have been searching for magazines for quite some time. So if you are at a workshop, you might get a good range of magazines, but you don't need as many as I have here. The picture of the frame I put in here is actually, it's an IKEA frame. They now even have like silver and gold ones. So they actually look quite nice, and it gives you, it looks very professional then. So this is what it could look like when you do a vision board. Yeah, all the cutting, the gluing, the putting everything together is a very important part. Yeah. So this is what the finished products could look like if you do an offline vision board. So if you've done it yourself. Yeah. These are from some of mine. Some are from clients who have been at a workshop with me. But what you can do now is there's a good online resource as well. If you have heard of the program called Canva, this is really pretty cool. They even, I think you can even do it in a free version of Canva. They have those pre-arranged setups, and you can put in the pictures you want. So it actually is quite easy. I have also found some apps that you can use to make your own vision boards. And if you want, I can send them to Mona afterwards, and we can put them in the link, so you can find all the apps I found and see if some of them are great for you to use. Yeah. What else is really important? I've put that in the sheet as well that I'm going to send Mona. Obviously, the big question is, how do you connect with your visions? So you might want to put some time in really making sure and making it clear for you what you want in your life. So you really need to define the topic of your board. Is it going to be a personal board? Is it going to be a business board? And then you really need to ask yourself some questions. And that is actually the most tricky part about it, because, I mean, obviously you can just ask, what are my goals? And then you will be like, I don't know. So maybe put it up in different areas of your life. Ask yourself in your personal surroundings, what kind of family do you like? What kind of friends are important to you? What brings joy to your life? Yeah, these are very general questions, but they all help you to actually find the one word for your vision. Yeah, start broad and wide. Ask yourself some general questions and then get more and more specific. Yeah. So really ask yourself, what am I grateful for? Yeah. What brings joy to my life? Where do I want to live? What do I want my life to feel like now? Or what does it feel like now? And how do I want my life to feel like in a year? Which area do I actually want to change? What is it I want in my life, and what is it I don't want in my life? Ask yourself something that is really important, especially actually sometimes for women. We tend to do things on our own. We think we can be strong and we don't need help. But to be honest, sometimes it would be helpful if you know, for each area of your life, who are the people you can trust, who can you go for advice. So also ask yourself that question. I don't know, maybe it's your mom, your dad, or some friend, or maybe there's a business mentor or something. But really ask yourself, who can I turn to if I struggle? And how do I want this person to be like? What kind of advice would I want? Yeah, these are all questions that help you to narrow down your actual goal. Yeah, if you go for a business, for your business numbers, and you want to know which figure is the figure I want to earn next year. Yeah, if it's just a figure, and you just think like, oh, everyone says I need to earn 100,000, otherwise it's not good, and you just write 100 down, there's nothing behind it. So really ask yourself, how do the others get their 100? Is it really what I want? Or if I earn those 100,000, what do I miss out in my life? And am I really do I really want to miss out on these other things, or are they more important than earning 100,000? And will maybe 60,000 or 70,000 be okay for me? Yeah, will this be good? And then I have the life I want. So really ask yourself those different questions for some areas of your life: personal life, close family life, business mentor, life and really business life, who are the people I want to be surrounded by, and what do I expect from them, but also what am I willing to give? Yeah, because I think in some areas of our life, or in some times of our life, we would like to earn a lot of money, but we just can't because the circumstances don't allow it. So you really need to make sure, how can I handle this? But to be fair, start with general questions, big and open questions, and be wild. Yeah, maybe write that 100,000 down in the first place, because that might be your goal, but maybe not next year, but maybe in 5 years. And be a bit crazy, and then start narrowing it down, getting more and more clear, getting more and more specific with your goal, so that in the end you have a very clear vision of what you want, and feel that this feels right. Yeah. As Mona said in the beginning, I am an active alert. I use an active alert hypnosis. So I use hypnosis while moving. And I actually do recommend, if you have the opportunity, go out for a walk while you ask yourself those questions. Yeah. If that feels right for you, do that. For some people, it's actually better to be this crazy, or to answer those questions if they sit in their garden or in their house or somewhere in a cozy place. I don't know, maybe in their bed, and just think of that. But for some, it's actually good to be outside in nature, to go out, to walk, to have a clear mind, fresh air. So if you want, do that. Yeah. Moving is actually good for our creativity. And also, once you start the process of preparing that board, do some sports before, go for a run, get that energy out, get that energy going, and then sit down and start that creative process. Because being creative can be quite exhausting, but it feels really good.
It is such a typical answer that we get from a lot of people when we ask them what you want, that they actually don't know. So I think what you just mentioned is such an important part, to really be clear about your visions and goals, and really be clear about what you want. Yeah.
And it is quite an intense process. So maybe it's not something you do in half an hour. Maybe it takes a few days. So when I do my workshops, I actually send all those questions a few weeks before the workshop, so that people can take their time to actually write it down, because it might take 2 or 3 days to really finish it. Because the first time you do it, you might know exactly what you want in one area of your life, but maybe not in the other. And maybe on the next day when you start again, it's the right day for thinking about the other part of your life. So it is no problem when you do it in like 2 or 3 steps and 2 or 3 days. So don't rush yourself. And I think that's something that people forget when they do a vision board at home. They might just think, okay, I'm sitting down now and I'm doing this vision board. And then they realize, oh, it's not that easy, because I really actually have to prepare. But that is a great part of a good vision board, that you prepare yourself with all those questions, and sometimes even with questions that are tough, like what actually does hold you back. Yeah, if you really think of what is really holding me back, or what are my beliefs, why do I want to do that and not this, even if, I don't know, maybe sometimes we want to do something, but our mind says, no, you shouldn't, because that has no future. But to go with what you feel and to express what you feel really can be tough. So take your time when you prepare that vision board, because the preparing of your vision is actually the most, or the first big step in making a good vision board that makes you happy every time you look at it. And that is what you want. You want that picture to be a picture that you can look at it and really feel it every time you look at it. So give yourself that time, go through those questions, and really try to ask them as honest as possible, even if it hurts sometimes, yeah? And even if it makes you think. Some clients who did that preparation, they said, oh, I actually nearly cried, because it made me realize, how many times I'm holding myself back, or how often I don't do what I really want, because I think it's not, because my mind says you should not do that, even if your heart says you could. So yeah, really take that time to prepare and ask as many questions as you want. And as I said, I'm going to send Mona a PDF later with some of the questions I do ask my clients when they want to do a vision board. And there's also some book tips, because there's quite a good, it's like an ebook, and it has many really good questions in it for all those different lives of your areas of your life. And with all that, what I just said, like who could be your mentors, what are my beliefs, what is holding me back. And I think this book is quite good, because I don't think it was very expensive, and it's just like an ebook, but it has really some good questions in it, and take that time to do that.
Thank you for sharing that and for sending this. And of course, I will attach the link then to the video and to the replay.
Yeah. So yes, and I actually think, because when we think of a vision board, most people think, oh, that is something for adults. But I have been doing vision board workshops with young people, like teenagers, and even for them, when they are at the point of their lives where they have to decide which maybe profession to take, or which school to go to, or which university, it can actually help them so much to make up their mind and see, what do I actually want? Like when I had these young girls in for my vision board workshop, they were all like, oh, I want to travel the world. And I said, wow, that is obviously huge, travel the world. And they really spent hours in finding pictures of basically every continent of the earth, of many countries. They tried to find something in the magazines that was specific for this continent and country, and they really made amazing pictures. And I said, well, so what does that do to you now? And they're like, now I know why I have to learn English. And I said, that's a good thing. Your mom will love me when you come home. But yes, that is it, right? If you know you want to travel the world, you need languages. There's no way around it. So it actually helped them to go back to school and know why they want to learn English and get better at it. So it can help them. Or if you have a teenage girl like I have at the moment with these mood swings, they can make a mood board. They can also just write down what makes me happy, how many friends do I want, what do I want to look like, how many times do I want to fight with my mom or not. So they can, I think it's good for them to connect with positive feelings, and so it doesn't have to be for adults only. I mean, obviously we might have like bigger visions, or when we think of goals, they're more adult goals. But for kids to dream, why should they not put it on their own mood board and have it with them in their room every day? Or even if you do it as a family, what kind of family do you want to be? How do you want to react or interact with each other? What do you want the total feeling of your family? How should it be like? So you can also put that on your vision board and make a big board together. why not? In times like that, where many people have so much time on their hands and you can't go far, why not do a vision board together and find a family vision? Yeah. And also, again, the emotions, right? If you put the emotions in that picture and you actually just want to be happy, it helps everyone to understand what happiness feels like for the others. Yeah, because everyone gets happy with different things. So, yeah.
Now, Ruth, I wanted to ask you, when you are clear about your goal and your vision and you have everything set and you know exactly what it is that you want, how do you start? How do you put what you have in your mind on paper?
Yeah, I think that's quite a tricky part as well. And it depends a bit on you as a person. Some people easily find exactly what they are looking for in a magazine, and some find tons of pictures of houses and there's just not the right house for them. So if you have an exact picture visualization of what your house should look like, then you really need to put some effort in the research. Yeah. And maybe, yeah, as you said, maybe draw it yourself or look in the internet if you find it and print it out and then take it with you when you actually do the board. In my workshops, when I offer all the magazines, we obviously help each other to find the right picture. So sometimes it is easier when you do it together and not alone, because obviously 4 eyes, 6 eyes, 8 eyes see a lot more than 2 eyes, and you get tired of like flipping through the magazines. Yeah, but some people, they just to a workshop, they bring the picture they have created in their mind and maybe painted it. So you can actually paint your whole vision board. You can do it as a mixture of printouts from magazines or cutouts from magazines and your own drawings. And in the beginning, you just basically put everything on that piece of paper that you have. You don't rearrange, you don't arrange it from the beginning. You just cut out, get material, and just have, as you maybe did see in one of the pictures, there's just tons of pieces of paper lying around. And only the last step is to arrange everything on your piece of paper and glue it on. I had it that sometimes people started with a vision of how they thought their board would look like, and in the end it totally looked different, because while doing it something changed. Yeah, the priorities changed. Their feelings change. So that is actually the creativity that sometimes kicks in. Yeah, it's like an hypnotic state when you're fully creative. And sometimes people only then realize, oh, that is actually not as important as I thought. Or this feels better this way now. And they find a better picture, better pictures that they ever thought they would find for that goal. Yeah. So it is a bit it depends on the person, but most people find what they are looking for. If you're very specific, then it's actually best if you try and draw it yourself or color it yourself or whatever. But if you're a bit flexible, you will find a good close to a good picture in a magazine, I'm sure. I don't know, in Switzerland we have a magazine called Happiness, that is like a bit of a yoga and lifestyle magazine, and that is a perfect source for a vision board, because it has many colorful pictures, with lots of emotions in it and great quotes. So if you
otherwise, sorry, like you said at the beginning, I mean, the internet is full of pictures.
Yeah.
Just go on there. If you have a printer at home, just print it out, right?
Yeah. Just give yourself, at some point, give yourself a break, because it can be overwhelming, as we all know, when you start researching in the internet. Mm-hmm. So actually, to maybe have 5 or 6 magazines sometimes can be as good as having all the opportunities, because you need to focus a lot more when you only have those 5 or 6 magazines. And creativity starts different when you just find, when you know this is your limited source you have and you need to take out most of it. It actually can be quite challenging but rewarding once you've done it. Yeah. And I, for example, I like to cut out sentences and cut the sentences in just the words and then rearrange them, and I don't know, maybe just take one word and then one word from the next sentence or something. And some people like quotes and they have vision boards full of quotes, and others don't put on any words, just pictures. So it's a bit of a personal preference what the board will look like in the end. Mm.
I am so excited to start a new one right now.
Now, you if you have it with you all the time and it reminds you of what you wanted to achieve in the first place, it helps you to stay and focus on those goals and to do actually everything you can to reach them. But it also helps you to think and to think about, why do I not achieve that goal? And at that point, you might want to get, or you could get help from any kind of coach to find the reason why you just can't reach that goal. Because sometimes actually creating that vision is the first thing, but then, like, obviously working hard on it is the other. And we can reach more than we think. And if we realize there is something where a blockade or something I can't go past, then get yourself the help you need to overcome this step and to be able to move forward to your goals again. So that is my advice. But actually to connect with with your visions on an emotional level really helps a lot to go for it. Yeah. Because then you know why you want to do it, because it's in your heart. And yeah. And in times like this, we all need that, right? We all need the vision for the life after. We have maybe lots or some time on our hands to reconnect with our goals and to make great plans and visions for 2021, because that is the next great year, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you are watching and your plans were disrupted this year because of Corona, right? You know, you might be at home now, and a lot of people also lost their jobs, you know, so maybe it is really the right time now to sit down and say, okay, do I want to just dwell on that and say, oh, I lost my job and all my vision is gone, my plans, my goals are you know, gone? Or do I want to just make a new one? And now, you know, that could also be an opportunity for people who are just stuck, just an opportunity to say, okay, what do I really want? Because truthfully, how many people have jobs that they don't like? How many people are stuck in a job that they hate? So maybe this is really the opportunity to say, okay, now is my chance. What do I really want? And then make that vision board, write down those goals, attach yourself emotionally, and just go for it. So thank you so much, Ruth, for all the tips, for, you know, really reminding us that yes, we can at any time do that. Thank you for everybody watching, whether live or on the replay, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you are. So again, like always, if you would like to see all the replays and you have missed a few, you can go to my website, MINDYOURPOWER.org. It's your life, all speakers. You will have all the replays of every single one of them. And we have had, I mean, I just thought about it today. I started on the 1st of April, and today is the 11th of May, and we have had a talk every single night. And, you know, it is amazing at how many people have come forward and have shared. And when I put the replays onto my website and I look through the variety that we've had, it is incredible. You know, I am really in awe of so many different sources of wisdom that came forward, and you know, people like you, and others. So thank you so much for doing that. And yes, and as I said, you can watch all the replays on my website, MINDYOURPOWER.org. It's your life, all speakers. You will also have the contact details of each one of them. So if you are in Switzerland now, or in Germany, or close to Ruth, and you would like to attend a workshop with her, then you know, you can get her contact details there. And same for all the speakers. Now, if you would like to register for the series and get the emails straight into your inbox with the speaker of the day and topic of the day, then just register at the other link below that will take you straight to my mailing list. And here's my last request to you. If you are a therapist or a yoga instructor or an astrologist or anyone who has something really valuable to share with the world, please send me an email to mona@mindyourpower.org, MONA@mindyourpower.org, and I would be more than happy to host you on this series, and so that you can share your story. You don't need to be a therapist. You can be anyone who has something to say. And that's basically everyone, right? Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you for everybody else watching replays or live. And bye, everyone.